Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. If you're new here, my name is Elena and I am the homeschooling mama to 3 kiddos. And here on the channel we talk about everything from homeschooling to homemaking and a little faith and fitness and anything else really that's going on in our life. So if you have been following along, I am on a little bit of a cut series, a little bit of a losing weight kind of series thingamabobber. Clearly I don't have the words. So this is going to be part of this series, and I'm going to do a little mini meal prep. But I have some chicken here that I already cooked. I put it in the slow cooker. This is just boneless, skinless chicken breast that I have put in the slow cooker yesterday or the day before, and that's why I want to get it prepped, because I don't want it to go bad and I don't want it to go to waste. So my plan is to, or my hope is to make this into a stir-fried chicken meal, like a chicken fried rice meal, and then I also wanted to see if I could stretch it enough to make it chicken enchiladas meal as well. I'm not sure I'll have enough chicken, but we'll see. I'm gonna start with the chicken stir-fry. All I did earlier today was, in my little rice cooker here, I did 1 cup of quinoa and 1 cup of brown rice. When I make rice, just regular like white rice or something, that's typically what I mean it is. When you are meal prepping for the week and you're going to eat all of the meals that you make in that week, you can create your dish and then just divide it as equally as you can into servings. So let's say I make this chicken stir fry and I divide it evenly into 4 dishes. If I'm going to eat them all this week, it won't matter if one day has more or less in it, because by the end of the week, my weekly macros are going to even out. For me, I am not going to do that. What I like to do is make my meal preps and then be able to put them in the freezer and save them so that I have more of a rotation and more of a variety happening. And also, being a homeschooling mama, sometimes life gets lifey and I don't get to the things that I want to get to as soon as I want to get to them. So I like having that kind of backup plan, that having them in the freezer and making my own freezer meals that way. So I don't typically measure out per serving that way. I will weigh each individual meal to make sure that I have about the same or as close as I can get ingredients in it, so that the macros are pretty consistent in all of the meals, because I never know if I'm going to be able to finish it all in 1 week or if I'm going to cycle through something else. So now let's dive in. The first thing we want to do is weigh out my chicken, and because I do not want to dirty a ton of dishes, I'm actually going to use the lid here. I'm going to take my chicken and just plop it on my lid. And I'm going to put the bowl on my scale here. I'm going to turn it on. I got a new scale. I'm still getting used to it here. And then that way it is zeroed out with a bowl on there. And then I will put in the amount of chicken here. And I am using, when I enter this in, I did put in the amount for cooked chicken. So on my FitnessPal, there is a line item or food item that says boneless, skinless chicken breast, slow cooker cooked, or something like that. On the Ryse app, which is the one that I've been using more frequently, it is I believe boneless, skinless chicken breast in the Instant Pot. So should be about the same though, because you're throwing it in and it's cooking slowly, or it's cooking without changing too much of it. So this is 781 grams of chicken. So if I up the amount of grams that I'm using with the chicken, if I was originally going for 70, I'm gonna try 80. I think I can get at least 9 meals from that. The math says 9.76 meals, but we'll see. But putting this in the slow cooker was a huge help, and then putting my quinoa and brown rice in the rice cooker is another huge help. So that's done, all ready for me. So I'm gonna aim for, I believe I put 75 grams when I was estimating out what I wanted. Whoops. I'm gonna add some frozen cauliflower rice to this, and this is already a pretty low carb meal. I'm gonna put in the rest with some cauliflower rice just to kind of fill it out a little. Okay, so I went ahead and I added 50 grams of cauliflower rice. I'm gonna do that to each one of my containers. Making a mess is optional. I mean, for me, it's kind of mandatory, it seems like, but it's up to you. Next, I'm gonna add in our chicken, and I'm aiming for 80 grams. Okay, and then I have these, it says Muki Mame. I'm probably saying that very wrong. But basically it's edamame that's already been shelled. So these were in the freezer section of my local grocery, and I'm gonna put these in as well because this is another great source of protein and it'll just help boost this up a little bit more. So the serving size on here is 89 grams or 2/3 a cup. I'm gonna aim for that, but I'm gonna see what it looks like. If it looks like it's way too much, then I won't put all of it in, but let's see what it looks like. And then I'm also gonna add in some mixed veggies here because it's supposed to be like a fried rice kind of thing. So we're gonna put some mixed veggies in here and pretend we're adulting by adding more vegetables to our life. A little more protein, I'm gonna add some egg whites in here. So on my scale, so I put my egg whites on the scale, I zeroed it out. I'm gonna pour in 1/3 cup, and it should be about 75 grams, but putting it in here before I put it in there, I won't have to keep going back and forth. So see, it's 72, I can add a smidge more. Close enough. So I'm gonna put this in my pan. So I just sprayed this because I didn't want to add too much extra oil, so I just sprayed it with a little bit of avocado oil. And then I'm gonna cook this, let it cool a little, and then put it in each container as well. And like I said, that way it'll be more kind of like a fried rice, but also it adds just a little bit more protein in here as well. So we're gonna do this for each of my containers. And I realized that I have chicken fried rice. I don't know that I meant to do that. I just kept going filling up my containers, but that's okay. Like I said, I can put it in the freezer, pop it in the freezer, and have it in the rotation of meals there. And I already have macros calculated for it and things like that. Okay, and the first part of our meal prep is done. Actually, I'm just waiting for the eggs to cool to put the eggs on here, but we have 5 chicken fried rice meals. The day of, I will add, like, we use liquid aminos, but if you use coconut aminos or soy sauce, whatever you want to use, you go ahead and add on there. But I'm going to add that the day of, probably with a little sriracha sauce just for a little heat. But these are packed with protein. I will put the macros up for you on the screen here. These will be, though, a heavy protein meal, so great after a leg workout or something like that where you really want to get your protein in, or just a really filling dinner. Okay, so now I'm gonna make, I think, chicken enchiladas. It's gonna be kind of a cheater version, but that's okay. It's gonna be a little less in calories because I'm not going to put them in oil. So typically when you make enchiladas, you wanna take your tortillas and put them in some oil first, and then dip it into the sauce. And that way the sauce sticks a little bit better onto the tortillas. I'm going to give it a quick spray with avocado oil, and hopefully that will be enough for me, but we'll see. So if you aren't already subscribed, here is my shameless plug in the video where I ask you to make sure that you are subscribed to the bell notification so you don't miss any of our future videos, including videos where I show you what I eat in a day or in a week or in a few days. It just depends on how much filming I get done, honestly. And I show you how these meals turned out after I've warmed them up. So make sure that you have that clicked if you don't already. But that's what I'm gonna try to do. I have about 374 grams, I think it was, left of chicken, and that is enough for 4 more meals at 80 grams each, and then a little bit left over. So let's get into this. Okay, my son is rinsing dishes next to me, so it's probably running water that you can hear, and my littles are seated nearby having dinner as well. So I'm just going to quickly let you know, I'm gonna chop this up a little bit smaller so that it fits better into my tortillas, and then we'll weigh it out. Another thing is, if your tortillas are too cold, what you want to do is warm them up really quickly, and that will stop it from breaking as you're rolling them up. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can be gentle. They're kind of room temperature right now, so I'm gonna see if I can be gentle enough to roll without taking that extra step, but we'll see. I'm also gonna see if I can add in some spinach here. If you have the time, I would definitely saute your spinach up with the chicken if you're cooking it at the same time, because then it would shrink, the spinach would shrink and fit better. But I'm just gonna put it in fresh like that and see how we can make this work. So actually I think what I'm gonna do is put my chicken on my scale and do some backwards weighing that way. So since I want 80 grams total, I wanna put about 40 grams into each tortilla, but let's see if it will even fit. I'm okay if some chicken falls out to the side because I'm gonna just eat from the container, so it's totally fine. I'll just eat it up that way. So I'm gonna do this for about 3 more containers, so I get a total of 4, and then we'll move on and add the spinach and sauce on top. These are not great rolling jobs, but it's okay. It's still gonna taste good. Call it, that's about 10 grams of spinach there, so we'll do the same for each one. And then I'm also gonna put in about half a cup of red enchilada sauce that's already prepared. It's from the can. So I'm gonna put this on, and I believe it is about 100 grams or 111. And I'm just gonna pour that right on top, trying to get as much as I can on the tortillas here. And then let's add a little bit of this quinoa and brown rice mix. And a little more cauliflower rice just for some added veg. I'm almost done. Okay, and then that's it. So this one, a lot of the sauce went on the bottom, but I just poured over, and the cauliflower and the quinoa rice mix should soak that up, hopefully. And also I want to add in some cheese. I have this fat-free mozzarella from Walmart, and I'm going to put some of this on there as well. A quarter cup is 28 grams, but quite honestly, I don't even think we'll need that much on here, but who knows. Cheese, I mean, can you really have too much cheese? Unless, of course, you're allergic to it, then yeah, you most definitely could have too much cheese. So that's 20 grams there, and I think that that is going to be perfect. Okay, and then we have 4 chicken enchilada meals done. Now I will put the macros up on the screen for you so you can see the amounts that I've used, and then of course it's going to vary by which sauce and tortillas you use. Just for reference, the tortillas that I used are from Costco. I will put a picture up of the brand for you also on the screen so you can see that. And then the enchilada sauce that I used. Just for reference, so you know what the macros are for this meal, this is the enchilada sauce that I use, the Las Palmas enchilada sauce, the mild version. So that is it for today. I'm gonna go sit and hang out with my kiddos and enjoy the rest of the evening. That's 9 meals that I was able to prep and put into the rotation for the upcoming weeks. And so I'm pretty glad that I got that done. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I did this. I really appreciate you coming alongside me on this journey. Let me know how yours is going. If you are also on a health and wellness journey, I'd love to know so that I can cheer you on. If you aren't already subscribed, maybe go ahead and click that subscription button along with the bell notification, because there's so much inspiration that we're finding amongst our chaos, and I hope that you'll come alongside to see that. If you are already part of our YouTube family, thank you so much for being along on this journey with us. And if you haven't been told today, you are deeply and truly loved and so appreciated. Thanks for watching.